Now, the next question we have is actually the last question of the night. And the question is coming from Kais or Keys. The question is, what's the best way to clean your precious metals? Good question. Thanks for asking. There are actually a couple of different ways you can go about cleaning your precious metals. Although, before I get there, let me just quickly say you're probably better off not cleaning your precious metals. It could damage the face of the coin, round, or bar, so you're probably better off not cleaning them. And I'll explain why in just one moment. But if you want a couple of tips or tricks on how to clean your silver, first things first, I personally wouldn't clean pure silver. I don't see that big of an issue cleaning, like, let's just say 90% junk constitutional silver. I personally don't clean the constitutional silver, but sitting here on screen, see this quarter right here? The Washington quarter, or some of these Roosevelt dimes, or some of these Walking Liberty half dollars. You could clean these in a couple of different ways. I never have, but I have talked to people who have let their coins soak in water that was mixed with a little bit of white vinegar. That's one way of going about doing things. They let them soak overnight, and the next day they pour out the water, and then they dry off their coins with a cloth or let them air dry. That's one way you could go about doing it. I actually heard a story about somebody using a toothbrush and toothpaste and scrubbing the face of their coin. I personally wouldn't do this, but I have heard of somebody doing this before, and they got the idea from somebody else, and that person got the idea from somebody else. So there was a group of people cleaning their silver coins with toothbrush and toothpaste. I don't really know how I feel about that, but I guess in theory that could potentially be one way to go. And then there's another way, and there's something that I wouldn't recommend at all, but for coins that have milk spots, there are people that actually take an eraser, like from a pencil, and they will erase the milk spots. And sometimes this works. I've talked to people, some people have said it works, some people said it didn't, so I guess it works sometimes, not exactly sure. Again, I've never done this before, and I wouldn't do it. And the main reason I wouldn't do that is because the eraser will actually cause micro scratches on the face of the coin. Now again, if we're talking about 90%, it's probably not that big of a deal because odds are it probably already has scratches on it. But you're probably not going to use an eraser to clean 90% anyway. This is something that I've heard of people doing for milk spots. So Canadian maple leafs for the most part, pre-2018 maple leafs to be more specific, before they switched up their minting process and procedure. Notorious for milk spots. Some people out there will grab a pencil and they'll use the eraser and they will just try to erase the milk spot. Now again, evidently sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if you're really willing to roll the dice on that one. But regardless of whether or not it works, you're pretty much guaranteed to get micro scratches on the face of the coin, which, to be honest with you, is even worse than a milk spot. So that's something that you want to take into consideration. So I personally wouldn't worry about cleaning any of the coins, rounds, or bars. Like if you have a cloth, that's really no big deal. But if you're going to sit there and wash them, grab an eraser, grab a toothbrush, or soak them in water, I personally wouldn't. You can. You absolutely can. It's not something I've ever done. It's not something I could ever really see myself doing. But it's definitely an option. I wouldn't worry about it though, because I would rather have silver that's milk spotted, or tarnished, or toned, or discolored, than to have silver that's cleaner looking, but scratched up under a microscope. That's not what I would want. That's not what I would like. And plus, not for nothing, I kind of like the way coins, rounds, and bars look when they're a little bit toned or tarnished. See that Washington quarter sitting on top? There's a reason I chose for that one to be on top. See how it's like, it looks like it's split right down the middle? I kind of like the way that looks. You see those sunshine bars? over there in the upper right, those are pretty toned. Those have tarnished quite a bit over the last couple of years. I took them out of the plastic wrapper that they came in, and I've kind of just let them sit out and about for the last couple of years, and they've toned quite a bit. And I'm all right with that. I like the way that looks. I feel no need to go and clean or wash the silver bars or the coins or the rounds. So those are just a couple of things you want to take into consideration. Doesn't really matter to me. I don't worry about cleaning them. I don't worry about how they look necessarily. As long as they're silver, that's what's important. Whether it's clean or whether it's tarnished or whether it's milk spotted, it's silver either way. I'm stacking for weight at the end of the day, so that's what's most important to me. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you.